There's been no end of surprises during the pandemic, and one of those surprises is tin. Tin is red hot. In the past year, the price of tin has roughly doubled. Tin-focused Alphamin Resources is up over 100% in the past year. The company has operations in the Democratic Republic of Congo. CEO is Maritz Smith. Maritz, welcome to Kitco.
Thank you, Michael. Thank you for having me.
Maritz, I want to get to your operations in a minute, but could you please thumbnail the current tin market? Who are the tin producers?
Well, I think in terms of the tin market, first of all, Michael, tin's main application is in solder, which is really the glue that holds our technological world together. And therein lies the demand growth for tin. We all know we're in a technological revolution, which is causing an uptick in demand for metals like tin. So really following the pandemic, I think the world has realized that technology provides sustainability in an unpredictable environment, right? And demand for tin is joined at the hip with technological growth and growth in demand. And the issue really with the tin market is one of supply, which is currently constrained. 85% of the world's tin is produced in China, Indonesia, and Myanmar. And neither of those countries in the medium term have any prospects of really increasing supply, hence a deficit in the market.
Why did tin explode during the pandemic?
Well, as I said, it really accelerated the technological revolution, Michael. The world realized how important technology is, and tin is joined at the hip in terms of technological growth. So we certainly are fundamentally positive about the demand growth for tin going forward.
How are those operations in Myanmar right now? Because there's been so much disruption. And then, of course, you said it's such a predominant producer.
Absolutely. Myanmar's share of global tin production went from just about zero in 2012 to 15% of the world's tin 7 years later. However, Myanmar has just about mined out the alluvial high-grade on-surface material and now need to move underground, which is more expensive. It's harder. We all know that, especially the miners. And it requires capital. So it's very hard to sustain production, never mind increase production.
Tell us about your operation, Maritz. I believe that you have a significant percentage of tin production in the world.
So Alphamin was developed during 2018 and 19 and successfully commissioned late 2019. And as of today's date, barely 2.5 years later, we already produce 4% of the world's mined tin. And in fact, we're the second largest tin producer outside of China and Indonesia. So really very proud of what the team has achieved with regards to that. But it doesn't stop there. We are allocating a lot of energy and capital towards our various growth initiatives. We own, in our opinion, the world's most prospective license area. And within a 15 to 20 kilometer footprint, we are certainly looking forward to proving up the second, third, and hopefully fourth or fifth mine in the not too distant future.
Let's talk about how you're deploying some of those resources. In January, you announced record earnings and dividends. Are there plans for future dividends or buybacks?
Yes, so it's all about capital allocation, Michael, and one needs to be careful in a bull market, right? So for us, what makes sense is allocating a significant portion of our capital and cash flow generation to organic growth. As I said earlier, we own a very prospective license area, and we'd like to explore and certainly develop the second mine in the not too distant future. But it needs to be balanced, right? And certainly we would like to see our shareholders share in our cash flow generation as well. So it's a bit of a balance going forward. But first priority is organic growth and expansion.
Alphamin is in a good spot, Maritz. In November, you announced a strategic review. Why? And also, when are you going to announce the results?
Well, I think because of the strategic importance of tin globally, it's incumbent upon us to really assess the various options in potentially accelerating and maximizing value for our shareholders. Now, there's various options we're looking at, and there's no fixed timeline with regards to that, Michael. So we'll see what the outcome of the review is, but certainly in parallel, we are focused on growing this company aggressively going forward.
Does Alphamin need to diversify away from Democratic Republic of Congo?
Well, the issue is, again, in a bull market, most capital allocation mistakes are made in the M&A space. In our view, we already own a very prospective area. We own the world's highest grade tin mine, and we'd like to allocate our capital to organic growth as opposed to M&A activity.
Congo has really come to the fore, as I don't have to tell you. There's Kamoa Kakula that's happening. There's all of the cobalt operations. Why?
So the DRC is blessed with the world's highest quality ore bodies. There's no two ways about it. And really the shift has come about in 2002, just about 20 years ago now, when the DRC promulgated its first mining code under the auspices of the World Bank. And that really provided investors with the required confidence and the legal framework to invest. And since then, we've seen a significant unleashing of capital in the DRC and developing tier one assets. So really that was the shift with regards to the DRC. And what we're quite comfortable considering that over the last 20 years, really there's been relative stability in the mining code and the legal framework, which supports ongoing investment.
There's been a lot of moves to first-tier mining jurisdictions, note all the M&A in Canada in 2021, Maritz. But if you can manage risk, there really is an opportunity.
Absolutely. For us, rule number one is it's about the quality of the ore body and then allocating the right people. And then certainly it's all about balancing value amongst all stakeholders, being our communities, our employees, and the government in terms of taxes. So balancing that allocation is critical, and we believe on the back of that, a sustainable partnership is realistic going forward.
You're managing the resources, you're managing the bull mark. What are going to be some milestones over the next 12 months, Maritz?
Well, for us, we'd like to continue with stable production from our first initial mine, and we would like to aggressively continue allocating capital to our exploration efforts in terms of extending our resource base, but also in parallel, we are very optimistic in improving up the next door deposit in Mpama South in terms of its potential development. And on the back of that, we would like to accelerate that. Alphamin, in our opinion, has a big role to play in filling some of the supply gaps in the tin market going forward.
Maritz, thank you for your time.
Thank you, Michael.
He is Maritz Smith. He is CEO of Alphamin. My name is Michael McRae, and you're watching Kitco Mining.